Let's see what Divine Feminine's read has this week. Honestly, can't believe we're in April already. Where is this year going? Now, without further ado, let's have a look at your crowning energy. Now, you're coming through with Divine Masculine on your mind, and I do particularly feel you're sort of looking at this individual, thinking to yourself, you do have gifts. You do have the opportunity to have this. It's being handed to you, and really hitting this conundrum wall of sadness at an opportunity that's been given, but the person potentially in your mind isn't really seeing it for that. I do feel there is a start coming, and I do feel there is this feeling of a brand new chapter coming. Um, one message that I put through to the members this week, and it was something of a metaphor, and it was something that my guides were showing me, is that when there is something that is totally out of your control, the one thing we can do is understand that Mother Nature does it best. And sometimes it's where we're psychoanalyzing it, we're thinking, what do we need to do in the mix of it? I really see you looking at counterpart here and feeling, okay, I was really hopeful. I'm really hopeful. Is there going to be a new chapter? I do feel there's something going on with Divine Masculine this week. I'm hearing the term coming home. Some of you are feeling that once a karmic relationship has gone out the door, and I feel this can be a bit of a karmic test, especially because our psyches definitely get themselves involved in the twin flame path. It can be that you feel if no longer a karmic energy is there and a story is ending, I do feel there's some sense of anxiety about what this new chapter is going to be with Divine Masculine. Some of you particularly could be feeling initially, okay, well, if that cycle is gone, then therefore, inevitably we can start. But I do feel there's a bit of worry walk coming up. I feel looking to the past, there's a feeling for Divine Feminine that, the amethyst energy, it's the psychic connection. Some of you might not be feeling this vibration of what's going on with the person as much. Some of you could be asking, hey, do they go through the same ascension process as us? Yes, to a degree. Ours tends to be more on the empathy role. It's more intuitive, it's more emotional. I was saying this to my sister this morning. Sometimes we wish that masculines could be like us, but then if there was a bunch of emotional people, would that really work too? Sometimes we need the logic involved. Sometimes we need the realism and the realistic energy, which I think Saturn is really giving us. There is a change, but there's a question mark here. In the heart of hearts, I do feel Divine Feminine this week is, you're sort of on the edge looking in and you're thinking, I'm going to have to move forward. You're wanting harmony. You're wanting things to work. You want to be productive. So you're trying to keep motivated. You're trying to keep motivated in your own goals. And your key in your goal is to be in bliss and to be in harmony. But I feel this vibration of counterpart at this point in time, with the 9 of hearts, it feels as though while they are MIA, it's almost like something's amiss. Now, this card relates to fulfillment, harmony, and protection. It's in reverse. So there are some areas of your own personal life I do particularly feel that are getting adjusted. Some of you are feeling, especially if you are aware they're in a karmic relationship and you're looking at it and thinking, well, they must be happy if they're still in it. So therefore, what on earth am I doing here? The other message I'm getting is you're receiving a feeling of feeling unfulfilled to a degree, and there's a cup that needs to be filled. There's a lot of anxiousness coming through in this read, but I think it's because change is coming. I'm noticing all the moon especially in divine masculines and the karmics. There was the moon, and I do feel we're feeling the inkling of this eclipse. I do feel during Mercury's shadow, we're really going to be having these blasts from the past coming back. And so naturally, our vibration, especially in a reading when the cards are pulled, we are picking up on the astrology. We're picking up on the pending energy. And I feel divine feminine is really intuitively feeling this. You might need to protect yourself. You might need to psychically protect yourself. There's old wounds that are resurrecting. There's old wounds that are coming up. There's a pressure point here. You're trying to find that blissful place. Some of you could be feeling as though, you know, where's your safe space? It's almost like the panic room. Where is that safe space? I definitely find divine feminine coming through this week more assertive. I do feel you're starting to speak your truth more. I wouldn't say eloquently. I'd say more vocally. Like, this is unacceptable. This is my standard of how I need to be treated, and it does feel intellectualized, but I also feel it can be coming through with individuals around you. Wow. Okay. I feel you're going to be observing a circumstance, and if you can calm yourself, you're going to be able to see through the veil. This can be a connection between you and them. This can actually be something that quite surprises you. Some of you, it could be that divine masculine is asking something of you. Their actions also can be being considered as not ascended, and especially if you're feeling they're going back over old patterns and you're wondering why that's happening, it is because of this pending eclipse. Yeah, some of you are feeling this person has not learned their karmic lesson, and you're really wary about it. You're like, okay, has this closed out? Is this person getting their life together? Some of you are needing to really, at this point in time, because the guides were really saying, please trust the process. And it doesn't mean, hey, this is a great thing. Sometimes Mother Nature has this way of bringing a tower down so that the path is clear. And I also feel some of their choices that they're making at this point in time are taking them to, it's almost like walking to a ledge to view a story that they're particularly going to choose, and then having these revelations of, oh my gosh, this is worse than a mental imprisonment. And so it does inevitably help them do the work so much quicker. And I do feel they're turning up. I do feel they're wanting to do the work, but I do feel divine feminine in the mix does feel quite detached and disillusioned. I do feel there's some chance meetings with some friendship groups. I do feel there's some new hobbies that divine feminine is tapping into, and they can start to become very exciting. I also feel some of you are wanting to care for yourselves a lot more and wanting to show up in the world in a more vivacious, happy, really tapping into the things that do bring you pleasure. I do feel whatever this confusion is, I do feel counterpart's going to surprise you. So if something's looking like it's going really poorly, it does seem to be that something is going to do a 180. And, you can actually have some conversations for some of you. It could be that they're proving to you that they're quite committed. It could be at a drop of a hat. They're like, right, I bit the bullet. I went and did it. But this does feel quite transformative, and it is definitely a pending shift happening. And I definitely see through this individual is going to be on your mind very heavily. If you don't feel as protected psychically, it can be because of the pending eclipse. Clear your home, be ready, and come through and join us for the lives so you can be up to date on how to handle your ascension process. Love and light, and be ready for communication.